All right, Drill Sergeant E back for another episode of Drill Sergeant's Time. Okay, this one is going to cover blackface. This is basically your entire AIT portion of OSUT. I'm going to read it straight out of TRADOC Regulation 350-6 so you can get the verbatims of blackface, right? This phase begins on the day of arrival to AIT, if you're a STO 1, STO 2 trainer, or weeks 11 through 13, which is also a lie because they changed it to a 22-week cycle. So it's weeks 11 through 20, right? Reduced supervision by drill sergeants, reinforcement training on common skills, values, life skills, and traditions taught in BCT, and introduction to MOS tasks characterizes this phase. Okay. Increased emphasis on personal responsibility and accountability characterize this and subsequent phases, right? So what that means is more PG squad leader led activities, right? With the emphasis of drill sergeants as well. Upon arrival at AIT, IET soldiers starting AIT will receive an initial counseling, which happens every phase. You get counselings in every phase, right? But if you're a STO 2, you'll get initial counseling once you arrive. Okay, this phase is used to establish goals consistent with the soldiers' MOS training. Meaning, not everyone's training is gonna be the same. Blackface is dependent on your job, your MOS. Infantry, they go right back out to the field. You start shooting for the next 20 or next 10 weeks, right? Cooks, they go learn how to cook shit. Medics, they go learn how to freaking do medic things. Mechanics, they learn how to work on stuff. Okay, the freaking basic training portion of OSUT is now over, essentially, and drill sergeants are going to step way back, not all the way back, but way back, and start becoming more or less teachers and guiders instead of enforcers. You know what I mean? Um, let's see. AIT Phase 4 will conduct an FTX. That's for infantry. The FTX is like the culminating event at the end. Okay, it's rigorous, realistic, date driven. Minimum requirement is no less than 3 days, 2 nights, and that's for non-infantry. The infantry, you're out there from Monday to Saturday or Monday to Friday, and then that Saturday you start your bayonet march back, which is the 16-mile ruck. It usually lasts like 2 days, and then that end of that second day, you're going into the raid around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then from the raid, you go from the raid straight to Honor Hill around 1:30, 2 o'clock. It's all close together, right? And you do your Honor Hill where the drill sergeants have their torches and they say their spiel, and then you get your cross rifles for infantrymen. For all the other MOSs, it's different, right? Like you're more or less in a college setting, learning about cooking, mechanics, medical, radio, stuff like that, right? The infantry, they live in the field for those 10 weeks, okay? I can give you infantry specific because that's where I was a drill, and that starts with fire team fires. It's just like buddy team, but now you have 4. Okay, you go in from fire team to EFTT, which is enhanced fire team. You're using trees as barricades instead of actual man-made barricades. Same exact thing, just in the woods, right? You go from that, you go into advanced rifle marksmanship, where you're standing, turning, shooting, standing, turning, shooting, turn about and shoot, like that whole spiel, right? And running and shooting. And then you go from there, you go into the mount training, which is where you learn how to clear a room first. You do blank, you do dry, blank, live, day and night. And then live is not actual live ammo, it's the CCMK rounds. Usually, our last cycle, we didn't even get those, so we had to do just 2 blanks. From mount training, you go into urban ops, which I believe is a 4-day event, 5-day event, something like that. And you just spend the whole time learning how to move from building to building, entering and clearing rooms as a platoon. As you start with squad, and then you learn how to do it as a platoon, and you're basically building up to the actual raid that happens at the end of the FTX, right? And that very much is just platoon sergeant driven by platoon, learning the fine tuning stuff about clearing the rooms, about behind the corners, about clearing hallways, stuff like that. It's really good time for the drill sergeants to really get into their teaching aspect of being a drill sergeant, because everyone teaches Battle Drill 6 different, right? Everyone's got their little twists that they want to add, right? Some people want to do a button hook. Some people want to do path of least resistance. Some people do fucking strong wall. Some people don't do strong wall. Some people dig the corner bottom up. Some people dig down. Everyone does it different. So this is a chance for you as trainees to really soak up all the knowledge and learn everything you can. It doesn't get any easier once you get to AIT, at least for 11 Bravos. For 11 Charlies, like myself, when I went through training, we did most of the shooting, and then we took 2 weeks and we did gun drills with the mortar systems. Okay, that consisted of going to mortar square and learning about the freaking 60s, the 81s, the 120s. At this point, you should have already had hands on them if you're a mortarman. But it's going to end with a culminating live fire that's run by cadre. Okay, basically all you're going to do is you're going to walk up to the gun. You're going to take a gosh dang round. You're going to stick it in the tube. You're going to go poof, and then you're going to walk away. You're not going to do any of the laying of the guns. You're not going to do any of the computer information. That's what we do once you get to the line. Like my job in a mortar section is to, right now I'm a section sergeant, so I essentially control the squad leaders and FDC. The platoon sergeant does the brass beads, bullets, all that stuff, men, weapons, equipment, all that good stuff, and I run the squad leaders. So my job is to train squad leaders to be efficient. And FDC, if they suck, I basically take over and run FDC, right? FDC is fire direction control, by the way. But 11 Bravo side, this is where you learn like all your stuff. 11 Charlie side, this is where you learn all your stuff about mortars and you test out, essentially, right? Culminating event is the raid. The raid's awesome. Honor Hill. Oh, we love Honor Hill. And then after that, you start prepping for graduation. Like you do all your recovery drills, you clean your equipment. But that's all gold phase, right? Black phase ends with Honor Hill. Once Honor Hill is complete, black phase ends and you are officially in gold phase when you get back to the barracks, right? But with that, you go to black phase, you start getting more privileges, right? The further into the cycle we got, the more privileges we were started giving the trainees. We were starting to give them Sunday passes where they could be on Sand Hill until dinner time for Sundays. They were getting longer times on their phone on Saturdays when we were back on Saturdays. We were affording them opportunities to go to the troop store the longer they're there. Because 22 weeks is a long freaking time. 22 weeks is a long freaking time to keep a bunch of young adults cooped up right next to each other. So we have to give them just a little bit of freedom to do stuff. Enough rope to hang themselves, and they usually did because we would find it. Drill sergeants know all the hiding spots in the bays. Don't try to hide it because we'll find it. And as soon as we freaking find it, you're done. We're going to kick you out. We're going to recycle you. And when you refuse to recycle, we're going to boot you on home. Okay? Refuse to train. RTT. Got it. With that being said, the black phase is really the bread and butter of the training because you really get into so at this point you already know how to shoot, you already know how to move, you already know how to communicate. So now you're putting it into practice, right? You did buddy team fires. Now you're really dabbing into all of it. Okay. As the phases go on, you're gonna start learning about Battle Drill 6, like we talked about. You're gonna start learning about patrol-based operations. You're gonna start learning about Battle Drill 1 Alpha. You're gonna start learning about raids, knocking out bunkers, all that good stuff. Sticks, your sticks, right? That's gonna be the time where the drill sergeants get out the whiteboards and they freaking hand write out like you war game each individual battle drill. You're gonna learn how to do you're gonna learn patrol-based operations. You're gonna learn how to dig a freaking ranger grave, which is your foxhole. You're gonna learn about sectors of fire. You're gonna learn about security postures. You're gonna learn how to build up your security posture. You're going to learn how to do resupply missions, okay? You're going to learn what an op order is. We're going to give you an op order, and you're not going to know what the heck we're talking about, and that's okay, but we're going to explain it. We're going to give you troop leading procedures. We're going to explain to you what the troop leading procedures are. I'll give you a class on that on another one. That's a good class to give. We're going to go through everything, and then we're going to walk you through each individual mission, and it's going to be set out each day. It's great training. Okay, you really learn a lot during this phase. Okay, on that note, I'm going to end it here and we'll go to gold phase. See you on the next one.